Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to College Football 25. And we're here. We're going to be covering the national championship game. I'm not going to be doing the play-by-play, but wanted to come on the mic before we start the game and talk about the stats of the year and just a season recap. But overall, take a look at the seniors that are leaving and look to the next step. 8 seasons in, and we were so close to a national championship, appearance for the first time ever. But we lost to Auburn, and honestly, it was a pretty rough game on offense. I feel like I was a little just too much. I felt the pressure a little too much. We didn't throw the ball well at all. Lookepaloon did not play good. And just leaving the pocket too much. I don't know. The offensive line didn't play well either. I don't feel like it did. At least that's my opinion. Oh, the one game we needed Jesse Chick to show up. He did show up at least in this game, but it ultimately, didn't really change the outcome there. Overall, I think turnovers, just playing sloppy football and losing the ball that many times, you're bound to regret it. So still, feeling down about that performance there. I feel like that game against Auburn reminded me a lot of the first game against Stanford, but we are going to shift over. I want to focus real quick on LSU. I'm very, very intrigued to watch their quarterback play in this national championship. I mean, after dropping 73 against Nebraska, then they beat the number 1 ranked team in the country, Oregon, 28-23. They then went on to dominate ranked number 2 in the country, USC. And Brian Bailey is their quarterback's name. They'll be obviously facing a team that came off of a bye, struggled against Oklahoma, but got it done, and then Auburn went on to dominate the LT Jazz. Take that for how you may. If that's impressive the way they beat us or not, I don't know. I'm obviously biased. When it comes to the LT Jazz, I feel like we were a pretty good team, but nonetheless, these are 2 very impressive teams in the national championship game. But enough of that. Of course, I'll go over their rosters and stuff like that before we start the game, but I want to focus on our stats as they are now officially over. So Lookepaloon will set the record for touchdown passes in a season. He beat Jamie Bell's 28, I believe. We'll check to make sure, but overall, it was a good year. I think the interception problems came back in the big time. So his interceptions have got to get better. Our O-line, though, did take a huge step backwards from a season ago to now. I mean, Lookepaloon got sacked 56 times. Obviously, some of those are his fault, but not every single one can be blamed on Lookepaloon, right? So we've really got to try and somehow improve our offensive line. But the interceptions have to get cut down if we're going to be a very good playoff team. And Lookepaloon, we ran it double the amount we did, and it really did pay off. I mean, he 100% has the school record now for rushing yards. It was held by Jake Tricati at 1,300. Yeah, he beat that pretty easily. And he also holds the rushing touchdowns record. So Lookepaloon, he's good. Don't let it fool you, but he does have to get the decision making squared away before too long. But we could, sit here and focus. Alan Flanagan is, got 1,000 yards with the extended season, so that's pretty good. But our run game wasn't that amazing. Honestly, I think this has been and when I say running game, I mean for specific specifically for halfbacks. Obviously, we had an insane season for rushing, right? When you combine Lokepa-Loon and Flanagan together, but designed runs to the running back kind of struggled. Only 3 rushing touchdowns for Flanagan compared to the halfbacks we've had in the past. It was a little bit lackluster, but I want to focus a little more on. Well, really, we don't have that many seniors, to be honest with you. We have a pretty young squad. So we should be able to run it back going into next year as long as no one wants to leave, like transfer or whatever, or declare to the draft early. But Jesse Chick is exactly who I was talking him up to be. He did kind of disappear a little bit early in the playoffs, but like I said, he really stepped up. This is his first full season as a wide receiver from start of the year to the finish of the year, and sky's the limit for Jesse Chick here. He sets the receiving touchdowns record, and 61 receptions is not bad at all. He was, like I said, right here, here's the playoffs. Pretty quiet against Penn State, Stanford, but he finally broke through and had that breakout game against Auburn, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. But yeah, we really don't. I mean, we don't have a lot of seniors on the team. We do have some at running back. Quandre Forney, 83 overall. Like, you'll notice, our tackles. We did have Brian Cushenberry, who's a senior as well. He's leaving. I don't know. I feel like our O-line should have held up a little better than it did. But then again, I don't know. Maybe 84s and 82s aren't going to be enough. We had an 83 left tackle this year and 89 right tackle. I feel like that's pretty good, but could be better. For defense, though, the big story is we will be losing Sean Mostrud and Sony Samolio. These guys are going to be in the draft, obviously, for the pros, so I am excited to see them. Sony Samolio didn't finish with the most sacks. Sean Mostrud actually beat him out at the end there. But this is a guy who reached all of his caps, played to his ceiling here for LT, and I couldn't be more proud of the kid. Man, I cannot wait to see him in the upcoming draft. He was a 3-star from Georgia, which is my home state. And his career was an amazing one. And he really made it count, the 3 years he got to play. 4.5, but then he really stepped up to be that amazing player that we knew he could be. And he's definitely going to be a pro player for sure. And then a guy I didn't really give too much love, but played, you could even argue, maybe better, Sean Mostrud, who didn't even get to his ceiling. He could technically have gotten better, but he won't be doing that for us. But I think he did well enough. And I do think he'll be going to the pros. He played 2 years for us, starting 6.5 a year ago, and then he more than doubled it this year. Played fantastic for us. Those are the 2 biggest additions we will be losing on defense here. Max Boyette, as long as he doesn't declare for the draft, we should have him back. He was really good. He's actually ended up being the better player than Dontrell Stubbs. I remember I was so hyped for Stubbs here because he was the first ever 5-star rating quarterback player that we got. But he just didn't develop. And also, technically, the stars don't really mean anything when it comes to the caps. With that being said, Dontrell Stubbs has very good upside. He just hasn't really met it. And we're going to have him for 1 more year. I do expect to see a huge growth spurt from him, but overall, it's been a little, underwhelming. He played phenomenal that first year, getting 10 sacks, and then he just dealt with injuries that second year, and then this year, He was healthy, but just didn't really do too much for us. Not to say that he's a bad player. I had really high expectations. And then you got a guy like Max Boyette who comes in, plays second. Half of the snaps he plays, and then just puts up numbers like he's put up here. 9 sacks, 5.5 a year ago. So pretty good little duo though with them, to say the least. But yeah, for our secondary, losing Malachi Wall is gonna hurt us, and so is Johnny Lewis. But I feel like we have some young talent to replace them. But we will be losing our starting strong safety Johnny Lewis and Malachi Wall. So just real quick to take a look at their stats, we will, see Johnny Lewis, great college career. Definitely could see him going to the pros. 5 interceptions. He shows that he can be that ball hawk player that you need to get you turnovers. And then, of course, cornerback Malachi Wall, who can do it even better. Man-to-man defense, maybe more. He's more of a zone. He just is really good at playing zone and picking the ball off. 7 interceptions that first starting season of his, and then 2, and then 5. And he's a tackling machine. So pretty good player. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the coverage of our players and stuff like that. Real quick, we'll just skim through their career numbers as it's looking right now. To be honest with you, it's not looking too good for Lokepa-Loon when it comes to the interception to touchdown ratio. I think his draft stock is falling. And then you look at his rushing stats, 30 rushing touchdowns. Could we see him make a move over to playing running back? But he's 6'1". So are you too tall? Would be the question. But then a player pops into my mind, and that is Adrian Peterson. I think I'm actually gonna look it up. I think he was 6 foot or 6'1". He was 6'1". Wow. So is Lokepa-Loon, would it be better for him to play running back? I don't know. I'm not going to switch him there, but maybe, he gets talked into entering the draft as a running back if his numbers keep looking wild like this. I don't know. I mean, they're still decent numbers, but the interceptions are just this. To me, I wouldn't want to take a quarterback with this type of ratio. I mean, you're almost, in other words, throwing an interception every time you throw a touchdown. At least throwing an interception every 2 touchdowns. So I don't know. But he is doing insane work on the ground in his career. Desmond Booker is leading us in yards so far, but Jesse Chick is coming in fast on that. I mean, he's a sophomore. Booker is a junior. I expect Chick to pass him next season, honestly. And Jesse Chick has already done that in the touchdown area. 23 touchdown receptions. Tyler Verrier has 22. Booker has 16 there. And for defense, our tackling guys are obviously going to leave. It's all going to be the seniors there. That makes sense. And for sacks, 22 sack career. He technically outdid Sean Mostrud in the total. So pretty awesome. Here's their career stats. Stubbs has 17.5 sacks. That's not too bad. And then for career interceptions, Malachi Wall will finish with 14 of those things. That's really good. Johnny Lewis and Josh Dugan with 9 and 4. Alrighty. We're going on 15 minutes here before we even get into the game. One last thing though. We want to take a look at school records for the LT Jazz. And we're going to look by career actually. So by career, Jamie Bell still has the most passing yards in a career, in a college career for the LT Jazz. So congratulations, Jamie Bell. 10,504 yards. Jake Tricati as well, which that's probably going to be broken by Lo Capaloon, but he has it. Craig Owaskia still has it. Dontavius Brown still has it. Jamie Bell still has it for pass touchdowns, which he may actually keep that. That's not ours. Craig Owaskia still has it for the career of 32, which that will probably be broken by Jesse Chick if I had to guess. Joel Hammer with 24 sacks, he's gonna keep it because Sonny Simolio had 22. So Joel Hammer holds on to that for a long while probably. And then DeMarvin Holland with 14. We actually seen that be tied by Malachi Wall. So pretty cool there. And then for seasons, Lo Capaloon with rushing yards, yeah, he said it there. Jesse Chick has said it for receiving yards in a single season. Javon Foreman, Jamie Bell with passing touchdowns. Okay, so Lo Capaloon tied it with 29, but he doesn't get the record. You have to beat it. So Jamie Bell still holds the most touchdowns in a single season record. Jesse Chick, most touchdown receptions in a single season goes to him with 18. Sacks in a single season, Sonny Simolio with 13. And interceptions in a single season still is held by DeMarvin Holland. So we've got some new generational LT Jazz record setters with Simolio, Jesse Chick. That's a whole different era right there. And you got the old era with Jamie Bell, DeMarvin Holland, and yeah, that's actually about it. Alrighty, well, let's quit wasting time, ladies and gentlemen. I've been on the mic long enough. Let's go ahead and let's get into this national championship game, LSU versus Auburn. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm rooting for LSU, even though they're our rival Louisiana team. I think we don't really have a rivalry with them because we haven't really played them much. But after losing against Auburn the way we did, I want nothing to do with Auburn. And I'm super excited to watch this guy right here, Brian Bailey. He has played insane. He's definitely going to the pros in our Madden series. So I'm excited to see this guy, see what he does. But yeah, oh wow, he actually played with Wisconsin. I didn't realize that. And then he transferred to he's a transfer. I did not know that. Look what he did with LSU, dude. 50 tutties, 8 interceptions. He is putting on a show to go to the pros for sure. Jason Joe, not true, but a freshman here. Gonna be running the ball there. So yeah, let's go ahead, real quick, we'll just take a look at their injuries and then we'll go in and get into this game. So LSU is coming in with a pretty good bit of injuries actually. Tuapulu is hurt. These last names in this game are insane. I went the wrong way. You're looking for Auburn, and they are right here. So they're still going to be without Emeka Fox, which that really just sucks. I would love to get to see him there, but he took a foot fracture injury. But we know Auburn can get it done without him. But it would have been cool to watch a 99 overall quarterback play in this game. I don't think I've actually seen that yet. And they're going to be without Dennis Irving as well, their senior, with a broken femur. I mean, he may not even go to the pros because of such an injury. It's pretty severe. Emeka Fox was having one heck of a career, and I think he'll definitely still be going to the pros after such a college career like this. He did obviously settle back down after that amazing freshman year, but he was never as accurate as he was. He definitely struggled with his accuracy. He brought it back up in the senior year, but then he took this injury, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes in the pros here on our Madden series. But Emeka Fox is definitely going to be going for sure. But that's enough talking for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let's go ahead and watch the national championship.